Welcome to Farming Aid.
Today we are diving into a world most ranchers never even think about. When we talk about great beef, the same names always come up. Angus, Hereford, maybe Charolais. They've built the spotlight for decades. But what if the best beef is coming from cattle most of the world has never even heard of? There are rare and almost secret breeds delivering incredible meat quality, thriving on tougher land, and outperforming the big names in ways that might surprise you. These cattle weren't built in feedlots. They were shaped by wild weather, rugged terrain, and generations of smart farmers who valued strength and flavor over fame. They grow efficiently, handle stress better, and some even bring beef to places where traditional breeds would struggle. While everyone else focuses on the same common animals, a new wave of ranchers and chefs are starting to unlock these hidden genetics. So get ready to meet the secret herd. For rare cattle breeds that are proving you do not need major popularity to produce world-class beef. If you are passionate about ranching, sustainability, or simply love good steak, this is a story you will want to hear. Let's jump right in. Let's start with a cattle breed that's been making quiet waves in Europe and the Americas alike, the beef shorthorn. Most people have heard of shorthorns, but few realize how exceptional the traditional beef shorthorn truly is. This breed began in the rugged farmlands of northern England and southern Scotland, where grass was plentiful but winters were long and harsh. Over generations, farmers selectively bred their cattle not just for size, but for balance, tender meat, calm temperament, and adaptability to both harsh weather and poor quality forage. The result is a dual-purpose powerhouse that's often overshadowed by its Angus cousin. What makes the beef shorthorn special isn't just its marbling or tenderness. It's the consistency. The breed produces beautifully fine-grained beef that cooks evenly and retains flavor without needing excessive fat. Shorthorn beef has this distinct depth, a clean, almost buttery richness that chefs love for its versatility. But the secret strength of the beef shorthorn lies in its efficiency. Studies have shown that shorthorns convert grass into muscle at a rate that can rival or even surpass some feedlot breeds. They thrive on pasture systems, meaning less grain input, lower costs, and a smaller environmental footprint. In an era where sustainable beef is becoming more than a buzzword, the shorthorn's comeback feels perfectly timed. Then there's the aubrac, a breed that seems to defy the limits of traditional cattle. Originating from the volcanic plateaus of southern France, the aubrac has survived centuries of tough weather, steep terrain, and limited feed. For generations, French herders depended on them not just for meat, but for milk and work. That kind of multipurpose breeding created animals with exceptional stamina and resilience. But what really turns heads today is the quality of their beef. Aubrac meat is naturally lean, yet somehow still rich in flavor and tenderness. It has a distinct fine texture that makes it a favorite in premium French steakhouses. Unlike typical high-maintenance beef breeds, aubracs have an uncanny ability to thrive on sparse mountain grasses. They calve easily, rarely need human intervention, and can handle cold winters and scorching summers with minimal stress. Their feed conversion is outstanding, meaning they put on muscle efficiently even when forage is limited. This natural efficiency allows small-scale ranchers to produce premium beef without relying on expensive grain systems. Many chefs describe aubrac beef as beef with character. It carries a taste of the land, an earthy note that reflects its rugged upbringing. For a breed once nearly forgotten, the aubrac's return to the spotlight is a reminder that toughness and taste can coexist beautifully. Now, imagine a breed that takes adaptability even further. Deep in the dry, scrubby landscapes of Italy's Maremma region lives the maremmana, a breed that looks more like an ancient wild ox than a modern beef animal. With sweeping horns, gray coats, and a strong frame, the maremmana carries centuries of survival in its DNA. For most of its history, it was the working partner of Italian cowboys, herding, plowing, and guarding the lowlands near the Mediterranean. But what's fascinating about the maremmana is how its genetics evolved in near-feral conditions. It developed an immune system so robust that it rarely suffers from the diseases that plague other breeds. It can graze on poor pastures, drink brackish water, and still produce high-quality beef. The flavor of maremmana beef is something special. It's not the melt-in-your-mouth softness of Wagyu or the heavy marbling of Angus, it's clean, lean, and deeply savory. The meat has a firm bite and rich aroma, a reflection of its natural diet and slow growth. This isn't feedlot beef, it's authentic, pasture-born flavor that chefs prize for its integrity. And here's where the maremmana truly outperforms, in sustainability. They thrive where other cattle would fail, meaning they can turn otherwise unproductive land into a valuable resource. For ranchers in semi-arid regions, this breed offers an environmentally friendly alternative that doesn't sacrifice quality. Across the Atlantic, another hidden gem has quietly been proving itself on American soil, the South Devon. While most people associate Devon cattle with the small red breed brought over by early settlers, the South Devon is its larger, more muscular cousin. It's often nicknamed the Gentle Giant for its calm demeanor and impressive frame. Originally from the rolling hills of southwest England, the South Devon developed as a hardy grazing breed known for producing abundant, tender beef with consistent marbling. Over time, it gained a loyal following among ranchers who valued its docile nature and feed efficiency. What's remarkable about the South Devon is how well it performs under modern ranching conditions. It's a fast grower, yet maintains excellent carcass quality even on grass-based systems. The meat is juicy and flavorful, with marbling that rivals top Angus lines but often with less fat waste. In crossbreeding programs, South Devons pass on growth rate, fertility, and meat quality to their offspring, making them a secret weapon for ranchers looking to improve their herds naturally. They're also known for their exceptional maternal instincts. Calves grow quickly and rarely need assistance, which keeps labor costs low. Many producers report higher weaning weights and better feed conversion, making South Devons a quiet but undeniable performance breed. These four breeds, the beef shorthorn, aubrac, maremmana, and South Devon, represent a different kind of beef story. They aren't products of genetic manipulation or industrial feedlots. They come from centuries of natural selection, where only the strongest and most efficient animals survived. Today, that history translates into meat that's healthier, more sustainable, and often more flavorful than what comes from conventional breeds. What ties them together is balance. Each one strikes a unique harmony between growth, flavor, and resilience. The beef shorthorn delivers refined marbling without the fragility of high-performance lines. The aubrac thrives where feed is scarce, proving that efficiency doesn't have to compromise taste. The maremmana demonstrates how nature's toughest survivors can still produce premium beef. And the South Devon shows that size and gentleness can go hand in hand, creating a breed that's powerful yet easy to manage. Together, they challenge the idea that only mainstream breeds can produce top-tier beef. In a world where climate change and feed costs are reshaping the livestock industry, these rare breeds might hold the keys to the future. Modern agriculture often focuses on maximizing output at any cost, but these cattle prove that sustainability and profitability can align. For instance, shorthorns and South Devons excel on rotational grazing systems, improving soil health as they feed. Maremmana cattle can restore degraded land that other breeds would abandon. And aubracs, with their low input requirements, allow small farmers to stay profitable without industrial-scale feeding. Ranchers experimenting with these genetics are discovering another benefit: consumer appeal. People are increasingly curious about where their beef comes from, and they're willing to pay for quality and story. Selling beef from a heritage or rare breed gives producers a unique angle in the marketplace, one rooted in authenticity. It's not just meat, it's a connection to history, geography, and tradition. Shorthorn beef served in a restaurant isn't just a steak, it's a piece of Northern England's farming legacy. Aubrac beef on a menu tells a story of French highlands and pastoral craftsmanship. Maremmana meat speaks to Mediterranean resilience, while South Devon beef evokes centuries of English cattle breeding excellence. Even in the American beef landscape, these breeds are gaining quiet momentum. Niche ranchers are importing genetics, building small herds, and introducing customers to something beyond the usual Angus label. Farmers markets and direct-to-consumer sales are making it easier for consumers to experience these unique flavors. Some gourmet butchers have begun labeling their beef by breed, letting customers explore the nuances between, say, a shorthorn ribeye and an Angus one. Those who taste the difference often don't go back. There's also a fascinating scientific side to these breeds' performance. Researchers have studied their muscle fiber composition, fat structure, and growth rates. Many rare breeds, especially the aubrac and South Devon, have more slow-twitch muscle fibers, which contribute to tenderness and flavor retention during cooking. Others, like the maremmana, have naturally leaner intramuscular fat that delivers deep taste without greasiness. These traits aren't easy to replicate through breeding programs, they're the product of centuries of environmental adaptation. What's exciting is how this new wave of interest could reshape ranching itself. Imagine ranching models built on efficiency, biodiversity, and breed preservation rather than uniformity. A diversified herd of rare breeds could better withstand disease, drought, and market shifts. It's not just about nostalgia, it's about resilience. The same qualities that helped the maremmana survive the swamps of Italy or the aubrac endure mountain winters can help modern ranchers face unpredictable weather and economic pressure. As ranchers and consumers rediscover these breeds, there's also a growing cultural pride around them. In France, aubrac festivals celebrate the breed's heritage, complete with parades of cattle adorned with flowers. In Italy, maremmana cattle are symbols of regional identity, tied to centuries of butteri, the Italian cowboys who managed them. Even in the UK, the shorthorn is enjoying renewed recognition through local beef branding. And in the US, small ranchers raising South Devons often speak of their cattle with the same affection once reserved for old family bloodlines. These stories are breathing life back into the idea that beef can be regional, personal, and meaningful again. But the comeback of these rare cattle isn't without challenges. Breeding populations remain small, and genetic diversity within them must be carefully managed to avoid inbreeding. Many require specialized breeding programs to expand their numbers responsibly. Yet, that's also what makes them valuable. Rarity drives interest, and interest drives preservation. Every time a rancher chooses to raise aubracs or shorthorns instead of a generic commercial breed, they're helping secure the future of agricultural diversity. The truth is, rare cattle don't just outperform in the pasture, they outperform in purpose. They remind us that agriculture doesn't have to be one-size-fits-all. That flavor, efficiency, and sustainability can coexist. That the world's greatest beef might not come from the biggest ranch or the flashiest label, but from a small herd quietly grazing somewhere off the beaten path. When people taste beef from these secret herds for the first time, there's usually a moment of surprise. It's not just the flavor, it's the texture, the natural juiciness, and the way it feels real. It's the kind of eating experience that takes you back to what beef used to be before industrialization turned it into a commodity. That's why chefs, butchers, and conscious consumers are increasingly turning toward these breeds. They represent a way back to authenticity. As the cattle industry faces mounting pressure to become more sustainable, more efficient, and more ethical, breeds like the beef shorthorn, aubrac, maremmana, and South Devon stand out as examples of how nature already solved many of our problems centuries ago. Instead of trying to engineer the perfect animal, we can look back to these time-tested genetics that have proven their worth in the toughest conditions. They're strong, fertile, and efficient, not because of labs or supplements, but because that's what survival required. That brings us to the end of our look at the secret herd. These rare cattle might not be household names, but they are redefining what great beef can be. They are tough, efficient, and full of character, shaped by the environments they come from. While the beef industry keeps pushing the same popular breeds, these hidden performers are showing there is still so much untapped potential in the livestock world. Each one offers something special. Better flavor. Better adaptability. Better returns for ranchers who are willing to think differently. And as the future demands more sustainable and resilient farming, these breeds might be the ones that lead the way. They remind us that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs do not come from new technology but from rediscovering what nature has already perfected. If you enjoyed learning about these underrated champions, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a new video. Let me know in the comments which of these breeds surprised you most, or if there is another rare breed you want to see featured. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.